Valorant, a game of skill.
I should have went with him.
I love my wife.
Teamwork.
Don't. Fuck it. Nice.
They have rest. We go there.
No, listen to me!
There too. Listen to me, curvo. 5v3.
Confidence.
Was there ever a point of concern, or was it just, we know we're gonna come back, even if it's overtime, it's gonna be fine?
We knew we were gonna win. We Well, listen, we ain't losing to Zeta, you know what I mean? We ain't losing to Zeta. We ain't losing to Billy again. Trust me right now. We'll be in playoffs.
Communication. Creativity.
I'm dropping an Odin to someone with 0 bullets. Wait, they're gonna force. Nothing flower. I don't see anything. Oh, elbow. Oh my god, it worked.
And self-expression.
Yo, I said 3 Arabs on one team can't lose. This guy in my chat said Suicide Squad. This is the most racist shit I've ever heard in my life.
It piggybacks off the innovations of its predecessors such as Counter-Strike, Overwatch, and Team Fortress 2. I just hit my monitor. God, kind of like if you're competing in one Ludwig versus Tarek match or the other, depending on what room you're in. Yeah, this game's completely different from a casual perspective to a pro perspective. But, no matter who you are, everybody knows what's on the last page when you scroll all the way to the right in the little Chinese data collecting fucking kernel level and skins. Lots of skins. I can imagine that most people that play this game, because it is free, feel inclined to, you know, invest a little bit of money. If you didn't, and you're a normal functioning person in society, feel free to click away. But today we're going to be going over whether your knife is mid or not. You know, the thing you spend $40 on you can't get back? Yeah, let's talk about it. First things first, let's start with the default knife. Default knife is, in my opinion, just so bad in this game. If it had that silver blade, if it looked like an actual knife, I don't know, I think I would like it more. If you use this knife, you are a boaster stan. Or you played Counter-Strike and you don't want to spend money on this game. This knife's going in the ew icky tier because it is just simply icky. Next, we have the altitude knuckle knife. This I thought was going to be fucking cool as shit. The way the handle is made, with the fucking brass knuckles on the end, you just want to fucking, But yeah, if you use this knife, you're a domestic abuser. If you use this knife, you essentially are not like the other girls. Knife's going in mid. It's not too bad. Next up, we have the Araxis knife. I believe it's called the Soul Harvester. Bioharvester. Jesus Christ. All right, if you use this knife, Alien is your favorite series of all time. If you use this knife, you played competitive Halo 2 back in the first MLG event of 2004 or whenever the fuck it was. Knife's pretty good though. It's going in good. I like it. This knife had its one moment to shine when like Zom's got a 3K on Liquid, but this knife constantly pisses me off. It's so big and it does the, you know what I'm saying? You know, just fucking, I'm a fencer. I'm a fucking, it's going in ew icky. It's cool in the menu, just like this one, but in game, it doesn't do the same. Now we're going to the actual Counter-Strike knife, the black market butterfly knife. Yeah, this thing is average, but in this game, I believe average is just above mid. If you use this knife, you actively play Counter-Strike. You play Counter-Strike all the time. If you use this knife, you are a Pokemon shiny hunter. You essentially spend most of your life doing Masuda method egg fucking hatches to get that one shiny goddamn Cyndaquil that you've been praying to get for like at least 8 days straight of going in a circle with your thumb in one position, putting a coin underneath the, yeah, you're a shiny hunter if you use this knife. This knife's pretty fire though. Now, retracting what I said earlier about big knives. This thing is pretty sick. You know, I'm a guy who likes lights. I play Valorant. I stream it all the time too, by the way. Twitch.tv/NIKMIK. Don't forget the extra K and you're okay. This knife is one of the few big knives. It's like the Bowie from Counter-Strike. It's big, it's fucking thick. Yeah, this knife's pretty fire. I put it in the good tier. What is this? The fucking Circuit knives? What is this shit from Smite? What is this? Blade of Circuit. I believe there's 2 of them. And when this set first came out, I thought they would have like Egyptian animations. Another one that's just going to fall to the plenty of other knives that have no animations that could be sick. I still don't get Riot's philosophy behind this. They separate themselves from other games with their animated skins. I would rather the default. Actually, no. I'll put it 1 above the default. I'll give it that. If you use this knife, Frank Ocean is your favorite artist. If you use this knife, you sing the entire chorus of Pyramids religiously to yourself every time it comes on. Next, I believe these are the Blades of Imperium. They came in a pretty sick set. I think the Vandals and Sheriffs and whatever other guns, the op that came in this set have some of the best kill sounds. The little twinkles in your ears. Oh, so fire. But the blades themselves are just, the protractors, they never hit, bro. If you use this knife, you still have that protractor you stole from your 6th grade math teacher's class in your drawer. Yeah, it's a little bit above the Circuit Blades. All right, what is this? The Blast X knife? Blast X polymer. Holy shit, I can read. Knife tech coated knife. Bro, what the fuck is the Blast X knife? This thing's pretty sick. I'm gonna put it in 5. Now, the reason I'm putting it in 5, pull out sound. Ooh, the little flick. Little flick with the thumb, little flick. Yeah, that shit's fire. I think it's a great concept. If you use this knife, you're Kade. If you use this knife, you still have Nerf guns in your basement. You still pull the Nerf guns out every once in a while and shoot them around. I know you do. Next, we have the Bound knife. What is this, bro? All right, they tried to do like a different design. I don't know. If you use this knife, you play League of Legends. All right, next, you have the Blade of the Ruined King. I think this is actually a knife from League of Legends, but no League of Legends players would use this. You use this knife, you got fucking drip. It's going in the hole here. And on one condition, broken. It has to be broken. It fits the name, right? If you use this knife, you watch that one episode of Fairly Odd Parents where Timmy was pulling the knife from the rock and he really thought he was him. That's you. All right, next we have, what's the name of this one? The Ceruleus. Jesus Christ, would rather the default. They definitely made an intern do this. Fucking dog shit, wasting my time. If you use this knife, you don't drink water. You only consume Diet Coke if you use this knife. Next, a knife of taste. Katrina has that design. It's a crafted blade with a unique hilt. It's going in the fire too. If you use this knife, you're a Reina main. If you use this knife, your favorite show is Narcos. And you wish, you pray that you could be in the cartel one day. Moving on, the Celestial fan. This one I gotta give a little bit of juice to. If you use this knife, you are an E-dater. You are 110% an E-dater. And I'm glad you came here. Don't forget to fucking drop a like, drop a sub, comment what each knife has been saying about you so far and whether you agree with it or not. Next, we have the best knife in the game, and that's the 2021 Karambit. If you don't have this knife, you thought Riot was going to put out something cooler in the future, which they kind of have in design, but not in rarity. If you use this knife, you are prime subbed to nobody. You willingly give your money to any Twitch streamer there is. Yeah, this knife's going in the hole there. It's my favorite knife in the game. Hands down. This is the juice. If someone's got this knife in your game, you're DMing them immediately. All right, next, you got the Champions 2022 butterfly knife. Yeah, this thing is good. If you use this knife, you genuinely enjoy how champagne tastes. You willingly buy bottles of champagne and drink them on days that are not New Year's. All right, next we have the fucking 2023 Jet Kunai. What do they call it though? 2023 Kunai. Okay, yeah. This one I find to be a little bit better of a knife. It shares similarities with whatever the Jet Kunai is down here. You know what? Let's rate them both at the same time. If you rock this knife, Naruto has always been your favorite show, and you wear Naruto t-shirts wherever you go. If you use this knife, you have the Naruto seal like tattooed on your stomach. Yeah, it's a cool knife, but I'm gonna give it good. It's gonna sit above, you know, the Araxis. I'll give it that. And you know what? Just because Champions rarity, I'll give that one a plus up. That applies, both those descriptions apply to both kunai, the Jet Kunai and the fucking 2023 Karambit. We're about to run into some fucking dog shit over here. All right, What is this knife called? The chromed gauntlet? Jesus Christ. Goodbye. If you use this knife, you drive one of those 2003 Subarus that is like souped up to the max. But you didn't do the souping up. Like, you bought it aftermarket, like after all the racing has been done on it. All right, next we have the composite knife. I remember this being a battle pass knife. If you use this knife, you still have like a Bob the Builder playset in your house somewhere. If you use this knife, you quote Bob the Builder on the daily. It's going below the default knife. I actually would rather rock the default knife. Wait, are you brain dead? Then yeah, they would go here. Yeah, it's the best of those, I would say. I don't know what the fuck this is. I digress. All right, so next we have the Crimson Beast Hammer. This thing, kind of sick, can't lie. If you use this knife, you genuinely and wholeheartedly thought it was socially acceptable to stand up in the theater and fucking clap when Captain America started beating the fuck out of Thanos with Mjolnir. You thought that it was a great idea to go to a public theater and start standing and clapping. I don't get it. What the fuck is wrong with you? My Zin is falling out of my mouth. It's good. You're not good. Something's wrong with you, but it's good. This next one, kind of mid though. This is probably gonna be the top of mid because I love the design of the cryostasis impact drill. Jesus. If you use this knife, you're anybody but cryocells on 100 Thieves because they literally made a skin line with his name after it and he doesn't. It blows my mind. Fucking shoot me. I want to put it in would rather default knife just for the fact that cryo doesn't use it and it pisses me off. But nah, I'm gonna put it in mid. It has a unique model. It's a goddamn sledgehammer and it fucking thumps against the wall. But yeah, it's sitting in mid. It's okay. Next we have the Daydreams crowbar. I think this thing's kind of slept on. The color scheme's kind of cool. It's a crowbar. The animations for it are fucking basic as shit. I believe it has the regular axe animations. If you use this knife, you drink purple Fanta, grape Fanta, every day. If you use this knife, you still own that board from DJ Hero and like pretend to DJ on it when your favorite song is on in your room. You got like the headphones pressed up against your ear. You're fucking loving life. And the fake DJ board is just in your hand. You're going, yeah, fucking going in mid. I'll give it mid. I like the colors, okay? All right, moving on. It's the Ego Knife. This thing's been around for a while. Since the game came out, I'm pretty sure. Ego Knife, kind of Chad. You rock the Ego Knife, you step outside barefoot every single day. You're an earther. You ground yourself to the floor. You wake up every day and get sun on your gooch every single day. You wake up and you're just looking for sun rays to beam upon your fucking underside. This is going in the good tier. It's way better than the default. It gives that knife color and it gives it expression. It's basic, but I think it has character. Okay, next we have the Elder Flame Dagger. If you use this knife, you are a Nepo baby. If you use this knife, you're a whale. Because this was the first, like, what was it, $55 knife? And you know you had to spend 60 bucks on this bitch. I don't even know what are all the Valorant tiers of pricing? You spent a stupid amount of money on that Elder Flame bundle. If you use this knife, you willingly hang out with Ezra Miller. You're a Nepo baby. You love this thing. And Papa bought it for you when the game first came out. It's fucking sick though. It's going in the fire tier. I know it's going in the fire tier. Shut the fuck up. Moving on to one of the coolest knives in the game. Beautifully designed, and that would be the Equilibrium fan. If you rock the Equilibrium fan knife, yeah, the knife. You essentially watched Akira before any single anime ever came out, ever. You're an early adopter. If you rock this knife, you saw that scene in Avatar with the koi fish and Aang before he lost his avatar state or regained it. I forget the fucking order of events, but that is your favorite scene of all of Avatars when he becomes the fucking water monster. All right, next we got the Forsaken knife, I believe, the Forsaken Ritual Blade. If you rock this knife, you're either A, a vegan, or B, into Screamo. I don't make the rules. It's definitely fire. It's gorgeous. The color scheme's sick. I love how it flows into each other. The Forsaken set is one of the best in the game. And Forsaken, the pro player, has actually used the set that is named after him. So I give him a fucking pass on that one. It leaves a good taste in my mouth. Fuck you, Cryo. Next, we got the Gaia's Wrath. If you rock this knife, you eat at least 2 orders of Taco Bell every single day, but spend 2 hours on your skincare routine. I'm gonna put this probably not worth deserves to go for me personally. If you rock the Gaia's Fury knife, you were just waiting for the Gaia's Wrath knife in your shop for way too long, and you're like, all right, this will fucking do, I guess. This one's going in mid. I honestly think it could sit at the top of mid. Nah, honestly, unique design for sure, but I think that's the highest any of those two-handed blades is gonna get placed in this whole list. All right, moving on. Another protractor knife. What's the name of it? The Genesis Arc. Oh God, all of these fucking protractor knives, man. They're not that cool. If you use this knife, you made me fucking yawn. If you use this knife, you're an Astra main, and I wouldn't rather the default, but it's right next to it. All right, next you have the Glitch Pop Axe. If you rock the Glitch Pop Axe, you are a Woohoojin viewer. You're a tier 3 Discord sub to Woohoojin, and you get your VOD submitted every week. You're in Woohoojin's Fun Fridays if you use this knife. If you use this knife, you blow the fuck out of Jing as much as you possibly can. You are just like, Jing here, Jing there, Jing here, Jing there. This thing's fire as fuck though. Can't lie. Animations are sick. The pullout's cool. I dig it a bunch. I'ma give it right next to the Elder Flame. It's got character. It's fire. Next, we got a classic, the Glitch Pop knife. Glitch Pop Dagger's pretty fucking sick. If you use this knife unupgraded though, you are a freak. You're a freak. What the fuck is wrong with you? Spend some Radianite. If you use this knife unupgraded, you've never spent Radianite on anything ever. If you use this knife upgraded, you definitely have an EPAL account. 110% you have an EPAL account. Hands down. And if you use this knife unupgraded, you're on a watch list. It's a fire knife. I'll put it right here. All right, next we have the dildo, also known as the Gravitational Uranium Neuroblaster Baton. So the gun baton. If you use this knife, you have an OnlyFans account just for feet. Literally just for your feet.
Game is game.
DM me. Fucking hate it. All right, next we have the Guardrail Hammer. To be frank, I think this thing just came out in the Battle Pass. I don't even know what it looks like. Is it a two-hander, one-hander? Leave a comment if it's a two-hander or a one-hander. I don't know. Leave a comment if you're a one-hander or a two-hander. I'll put it one above the default. How about that? I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Next, the worst knife in the game is the hack knife. I believe the bundle was Undercity. Yeah, this thing visibly pissed me off. If you use this knife, do you let Spotify pick every single song you ever listen to? If you use this knife, you let TikTok algorithms determine who you like and dislike. It's so bad, bro. Next is a super, super rare classic knife called the Hive Mind Sword. Been the game longer than most people been playing it. It was the first Battle Pass knife. That being said, I just said everything that was cool about it. Maybe besides this like the little fucking curve at the top. I like. All right, it's going in mid. It's the bottom of mid. All right, next we have, what is this? The Chinese New Year knife. It's cool. It's another sword. If you use this knife, you still watch Power Rangers. Your favorite Power Rangers was the Jungle Cat Force with the fucking, where they're all different jungle cats. That was your favorite Power Rangers, but you love all Power Rangers. 110%. Moving on, we have a sleeper. Thank you, China. Thank you so much for giving us this knife. Ignite Fan. Ignite Fan, fucking sick knife. If you use this knife unupgraded, basically just a better Ruin Dagger. If you use this knife, you play Smash Bros. Melee. 110%. You are a savage at Melee if you main this knife. Upgraded, you're like a Fox main. Unupgraded, you're a Yoshi Chad. This thing's going in fire. Moving on. What is this? The Intergrade Blade? If you don't get that bullshit out of my face, bitch. Yeah, you're going somewhere here. You're at least a knife. All right, moving on to the Ion Energy Sword. When it leaked on Twitter, the name, I was like, yo, they're about to release a lightsaber. And then they gave us that. If you use this knife, this is the only emote you use in Lethal Company. You don't throw it back. You don't fucking clap. You don't do anything. You strictly give people the middle finger. This knife is going in fucking, I would rather use the default. The next is the complete opposite, the Ion Karambit. And I swear to God, if I didn't have Champs Karambit, I would be rocking this thing 24/7. Holy. If you rock this knife on upgraded, you fight for GE. You're GE fighting if you use this knife.
fighting.
You're a fucking GE global esports loving Chad if you use this knife. It's a fucking hole. At least 3 bubble butt boys are throwing it back for you for this knife in your Discord. I swear to God. You're falling asleep with someone on Discord if you rock this knife. Tonight. Moving on to the Iridiant Thorn Blade. If you rock this knife, you only watercolor paint with pastels. You literally only paint little happy trees like Bob Ross in the background. I'd buy your painting. I can't put it in mid. It's okay. Next, we have the Kingdom Knife. I like a classic knife. Not that type of classic knife. It's mid, but it has rarity to it. All right, yeah, it's going at the bottom of the good. Next, we have the K-Tac knife. If you rock this knife, Kill Bill is your favorite movie. You thought it was going to be forward at first with the blade shaped this way, but the blade was actually shaped back at yourself, and you're pissed because why the fuck would they do that? I'm talking about me. You know what? I'm gonna give it Ew Icky because it pisses me the fuck off. How about that? Kunonami Yaiba. If you rock this knife, Kurapika is your favorite character in all of anime. If you rock this knife, you won't shut the fuck up about the new JJK season. If you rock this knife, you've watched more anime than I have cells in my body. Fire, 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 fire ass knife. Put that solidly at the top of fire. It won't move. Next, we have one that actually may top what I just put there. Bro, why do I lie so? Yeah, it's the Luna's Descent. It has the animations of the Ruin Blade, but just better colors, objectively speaking. Let's do them both at the same time. Now, these two knives are extremely similar, but they say two completely different things. If you use this knife, you make Twitter edits of your clips on Valorant in like Immortal lobbies to Pink Panther's music. If you use this knife, you have your RR peak in your bio on Twitter. And on the contrary, if you use this knife, you tell your friends that you're Radiant peak. Meanwhile, you haven't gotten out of Ascendant. I still love you though. Both of these are going high up on the list. This one's going into fire. This one's going into the bottom of the bowl, simply because of its rarity. Next, we have the Lux knife. If you use this knife, you rob people. You commit crimes. This knife kind of sucks. It's fucking good. A knife that I would probably put way below that though is the Magepunk Electro Blade. I don't know what the fuck they were doing when they made this knife. If you use this knife, your favorite movie is Robots. It's not even mid. It's fucking disgusting. Next, we have the Magepunk Gauntlet. It's pretty fucking mid. Ew Icky. Maybe at the top of Ew Icky. If you rock this knife, your favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. Out of all 1,012 or whatever Pokemon there are, your favorite Pokemon is Psyduck. And lastly, in the Magepunk series, we do have the Magepunk Butterfly knife. A fire-ass knife. If you rock this knife, you're a Dota player, and you tell every League of Legends fan that they are a piece of shit scum of the fucking earth. If you rock this knife, you are only in Diamond. That's it. You've only sat in Diamond your entire life if you rock this knife. Next is the Nebula knife. The design for this knife, it doesn't fucking hit. I'll put it one above. I'll put it one above. It's in that same category though. If you have to be guessing whether you'd rather rock this or the default knife, you probably shouldn't buy it. If you rock this knife, you own at least 2 Bored Ape NFTs. If you rock this knife, you suck the fuck out of Elon Musk's cock. Next, we have the Neo Frontier Axe. Now, this is a knife with a lot of expression. There's a lot of different ways you can rock this motherfucker, and it's pretty. I'm gonna be throwing it in the top good, maybe even in, yeah, you know, I would actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm repositioning these two into good. Yeah, maybe I'll push this down to mid. Maybe it's the top of mid. SpongeBob head ass knife. Going in fucking Icky. Somewhere in Icky. It's SpongeBob head ass. Patrick Star is your best friend if you rock this knife. Next, we got what should have been the Yoru knife part 2. It's the second baseball bat in the game. It wants to be Radiant Crisis. It's not Radiant Crisis. If you rock this knife, you actually played baseball growing up. You're a Shohei Ohtani stan. You love baseball. You're a Dodgers fan. It's mid. It's nothing crazy. I don't know what the fuck this is called. Obsidiana. One of the worst things that has ever come out of a battle pass. If you rock this knife, you have Tack and the Power of Juju on Game Boy Advance cartridge on your desk at all times. Completely would rather the default knife. I'm gonna put it right here, actually. I would rather rock this yee head-ass fucking gauntlet over it. Speaking of a yee head-ass gauntlet, let's move on to the Oni, what do they call it? The Onimaru Kunitsuna. If you rock this knife, you're into big you-know-what goth GFs. Person of taste. This is probably one of the better gauntlets as well. Not that good. I'm gonna give it mid. It's mid. Mid. A knife that isn't so mid, but a little bit extra is 100% the Oni Katana. Now I'm gonna place this one in low fire. Sick design, unreal pullout, all that kind of shit. If you rock this knife, you study the blade. All right, moving on, we have the Protractor. If you rock this knife, you love Anubis in Smite. You're an Anubis main. If you rock this knife, you think the pyramids came from aliens. It's the best Protractor knife, maybe? I think so. You know what? It's icky. It's fucking icky. No good. Icky, stinky. Yeah, we're putting it right there. Okay, continuing on. This knife isn't out yet, or is it? This knife might have came out. I think it did. It's icky. Fucking disgusting. Outpost knife. If you rock this knife, you were a Viper main when Viper was shit. If you rock this knife, you got the best toys from the McDonald's Happy Meals back in the day. Knife's pretty good. I'm putting it at the bottom of good. I know a lot of people shit all over this knife, saying it's a leveler head-ass knife with the fucking water bottle. Shut the fuck up. Deadass, shut the fuck up. All right, next we have the Overdrive Blade. It's a wannabe RGX. It's a similar style. I approve of this style. I think there should be more styles of knife like this in the game. If you rock this knife, you're one of two people. One, you're an e-girl for the pink skin. I commend you for that. Two, you hecking love F1. You throat Lewis Hamilton if you rock this knife. I'm gonna put this knife in probably the good tier under the champion stuff. How about that? We'll do that. Next, we have the iRobot head-ass knife. If you rock this knife, you have Siri commands for literally every single thing on your phone, or you have an Android. It's one of the two. You're not a normal iPhone user if you rock this knife. It's going right there in I can't.
No good.
Detect enemy. Next, we got the Power Fist. Oh boy, Power Fisting. You know what I'm saying? It goes somewhere. If you rock this knife, your favorite game of all time is Banjo-Tooie and Banjo-Kazooie. This knife is going somewhere. All right, next, the Prime Karambit. It's a Hole knife. It is 110% a Hole knife. Yeah, if you rock this knife, Asuna is your favorite streamer. If you rock this knife, you stan Prime Yay. Next, we have the Prime Axe. If you rock this knife, you like gold tools in Minecraft. If you rock this knife, you want a GTR as your dream car. You wouldn't even buy a McLaren. You just want the GTR. It's mid. Next, we have the Prism Axe. I believe it is. This is one of the best Battle Pass skins in the game. I think I'm going to put the Prism Axe right about here. If you rock the Prisma Axe, you think that rap peaked in 2014. Yeah, you think like J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake in 2014 was the peak of hip hop and what it would ever be. I'm not gonna sit here and agree or disagree with that take. Next, moving on to the Prisma knife.
So
Ew,
good.
icky, fucking gross. Get in there. If you rock this, you're poor. Straight up, you're in poverty. Even if you're like 15 and living with your parent, you're impoverished if you rock this knife. All right, moving on. We have the Prosperity. If you rock the Prosperity knife, you are extremely disappointed that you bought this thing. This doesn't even say anything about you. It's mid. I'll put it right above here because of unique design. You know, it's pretty cool. And I fucking hate green screen knives. Well, it's not a green screen knife, though. Quite the opposite. A knife in its own universe. The Radiant Crisis Bat. Unique animation. It's a unique design for the time. It looks like Borderlands. Pow, right in the kisser. You know what I'm saying? If you rock this knife, you stan Stan Lee. This knife is going in fucking... I'll give it 5. Right above the Neo Frontier. Because I actually do think this knife is fucking sick. Moving on. The Reaver Karambit. If you rock this knife, you didn't get the Champs 2021 bundle. It's gonna go right here. Don't get me wrong. Love Reaver. My favorite skin line in the game. If you rock this knife, you listen to the Ken Carson album once. Moving on to a knife that is actually opium, which is the Soul Strife Scythe. If you rock this knife, you listen to nothing but Ken Carson, Playboy Cardi, and Destroy Lonely. You literally stand Cardi. You take pictures on Instagram with your head down, showing your whole fit. That's who you are if you rock this knife. It's a baller ass knife. Yeah, we'll pop it somewhere in fire. I'm gonna pop it right in front of the Mage Punk one. I think it has character. It reminds me of Verno. Verno is disgusting. I love this knife. Moving on, a absolute classic is the Reaver Dagger. Reaver Dagger or Reaver Knife? They call it the Reaver Knife. It's a dagger. You hold it fucking backwards. Okay. If you rock this knife, you do Borat impersonations like all the time. I'll put it at the bottom of the fire. It's Reaver. It can't be bad. Next, we have the Recon Balisong. If you rock this knife, you call butterfly knives Balisongs. If you rock this knife, you are like pogging off your gourd when they finally put a butterfly knife in the game. If you rock this knife, you have one of those fake Balisongs or butterfly knives. Fucking... It's going right here. There are way better butterfly knives in the game than this one, but you don't want to buy any of them because you already bought the first one and you don't want to give Rito Games more money. Next, we have the Relic of the Sentinel, another League of Legends skin next to another League of Legends skin. There's 3 in the game. They're infiltrating. They're fucking infiltrating. If you rock this knife, you get pegged regularly, regardless of who you are, and you enjoy it. Yeah, it's going here. This knife actually is doing too much, I can't lie. Moving on, we have the Relic Stone Daggers. These are definitely better, less obnoxious. If you rock these daggers, you played in the recent GC qualifiers for North America. They're gonna go fire. They're definitely fire. I love them. They're double dagger design. We need more of those. I'll place it right there. Hope you did well in the GC tournament in North America. Moving on, we have most disappointing skin set in the game, the Reverie. Yeah, this is the Reverie sword. Tell me why one skin of this entire set doesn't look like it belongs anywhere near being called stained glass. It's fucking dog shit. Get this thing away from me. Hello, Nick from the future. I had to scrap what I said here because I don't know if it would actually offend anybody. Just wanted to make sure it didn't, but hopefully this doesn't offend you, and if it does, maybe read a book or like talk to somebody else who isn't your father. If you rock this skin, you're a young earth creationist and a flat earther. Ooh, it pisses me off so much, I'd actually rather rock the default knife. I'm not even kidding. And just the pure emotion. It looks better than the default knife, but pure emotion is telling me to put it down here. Moving onwards. Wow, they did this skin dirty in the preview, didn't they? I guess that's how it really looks. The RGX Blade. If you rocked the RGX Pro Blade, you had a whole collection of Beyblades growing up. If you rock the RGX Pro Blade, your outfits in your closet are color coordinated and they're lined up. It's like a Roy G Biv in your closet. God tier knife, in my opinion. It's fire as fuck. I'm putting it in Hole. It deserves it. Now, my opinion on the RGX Butterfly knife isn't that high. Personally, I think this thing's hyped up to shit. If you rock the RGX Butterfly knife, you made a DraftKings account at 16 using a fake ID. This thing pisses me off. I don't know why. I like it though. It's a good design, but I don't know why. It just irks me a little bit. It's going in good. You know, for me, it's too fucking stimulating in the brain. Too much flashing lights, too much light up sneakers. It's going in here. Next, you have the Sun Wukong fucking staff, the Roy staff. It's kind of lit. It extends like Aang's fucking staff from Avatar, more so like the Goku power pole. If you rock this staff, or knife, I should say, you went to school wearing the Yu-Gi-Oh deck on your arm and actively challenged people who do not play Yu-Gi-Oh. So this knife is going in good. I'll put it in between the two. You know what? I meant to do this earlier. Yeah, sorry for the butterfly knife users, but that's how I truly feel. Next, we're moving on to a slept-on Battle Pass knife, the Sandswept Dagger. If you rock the Sandswept Dagger, you actively go on Twitter searching for people who post highlights of their clips from Twitch. If you rock the Sandswept Dagger, you essentially are looking for an e-girl or e-boy. Either or, if you rock the Sandswept Dagger. This dagger, it's pretty sick. One of the slept-on Battle Pass skins. I'll put it below the Reaver Dagger, or Reaver Knife. I'll put it right there. Moving on, we have the Singularity Knife. Oh, what a fucking letdown that this skin line didn't get another knife. If you rock this knife, you're the 5th child in your family. If you rock this knife, you pick your fucking nose and eat your boogers. It's the definition of mid. That's why it's going right in the middle. Next, we have the Smite Knife. If you rock this knife, you watch WestJet willingly. You like him as a person. That says a lot about you. Would rather the default knife. It's the worst knife in the game. Moving on, we have the Sinatra knife. What is this? The Snowfall Wand? Yeah, like FNS and Sinatra rock this shit all the time. If you rock this knife, you take no normal gunfights. If you rock this knife, you actively buy an LMG and spray through walls as much as you can. If you rock this knife, you blast music in your ears while you play ranked. You no calm in ranked. It has that himbo energy to it, bimbo energy to it. I'll put it at the bottom of good. Yeah, who am I kidding? It's going above the prosperity. Moving on, we have the Song Steel. If you rock this knife, you think Skyward Sword is the best Zelda that has ever been made. because it's the first, man. It's original. This knife is mid as fuck. I rock the Kingdom knife over this. Speaking of a sword that is actually respected, it is the Sovereign Sword. It's been around in the game for so long. If you rock the Sovereign Sword, you're a sex haver. If you rock the Sovereign Sword, you haven't changed a single skin in your inventory for like 2 years. If you rock the Sovereign Sword, your favorite map is Icebox, unfortunately. That sucks, man. Why the fuck do you like Icebox? It's fire. It's fucking fire. I think I put it right here. Next, we have the Spline Dagger. If you rock the Spline Dagger, you actively stream snipe in high elo. If you rock the Spline Dagger, you think Wardell is the best opper in the world. This knife is terrible. I'm rocking the default over it. I'll put it at the top though. I'll give you that. Stop what you're doing and get help. Is exactly what I'm gonna say to this next knife too, which is the goddamn Striker knife. If you rock the Striker knife, you don't play Valorant. You don't play this game. If you rock the Striker knife, you thought Apple Jacks were better than Fruit Loops back in the day. Now, I can see the debate. I can see the debate now. I might like Apple Jacks a little bit more now. But back in the day, you know, when you're a little fucking toddler, like, mommy, give me some cereal. Give me some fucking Apple Jacks. You wanted those Apple Jacks. Get this knife the fuck out of my face. It's above the Smite knife. That shit's fucking garbage. All right, moving on. We have the Sis Melee. I don't even want to talk about it. If you rock this knife, you genuinely type in synth punk or like synthwave music on YouTube 24 hours, and that determines your mood for the entire day. You do not take that out of your headphones. This knife is pretty fucking bad. So it's gonna go right there. I think the Nebula edges it out a little bit. Now, a knife that is probably gonna land in the same exact spot is the Task Force 809 knife. Is there anything really to say about this knife? If you rock this knife, your headphones were always in a fucking ball in your pocket if you rock this knife. And you took them out and just used them as is. You didn't do shit. You didn't untangle them. You did nothing. Plugged it into your iPod or your phone and then just fucking wires in your face. Yeah, you're a fucking weirdo. I'll give you above the Nebula knife. How about that? You bundled up headphone fuck. Next, we have the Terminus Quo protractor knife. If you rock the Terminus Quo knife, you fell for this Fushigi scam. You thought that thing would hover on your hand? It's not that bad though. It's like under the Singularity knife. Next, we have the Tilde knife. If you rock the Tilde knife, you are trying to go pro. If you rock the Tilde knife, you have the best peripherals on the market. You got a Final mouse. You got a fucking Artisan mouse pad. You got a Wooting keyboard, and you're still a Mortal 1. It's a good knife overall. I'll pop it right here. How about that? All right, next we're moving into the Titan Mail Mace. I haven't seen one person rock this knife before. The only person I've ever seen rock this knife before is my friend, Rocky. I bought him this entire bundle in a bet. Now, I forget what the bet was because this was about, I don't know, this thing came out like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I lost 65 bucks and he gained the one of the most terrible bundles in the game. This thing's going in fucking ew, icky, not good. Ball and chain my neck if you actively rock this knife. If you rock this knife, you asked everybody if they watched Arcane when Arcane came out. You watch Arcane? 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 KDA is your favorite band. This knife's fucking terrible. Yeah, it's going somewhere fucking here. Moving on. The lock-in knife. If you rock the lock-in knife, you definitely, as a kid, crushed up Smarties in your middle school lunchroom and pretended to snort them out of the bag and then passed it to your friend and they actually snorted them out of the bag. This thing is pretty fucking sick though. I will say, I'm dropping it in fire. The next skin that I'm about to bring you onto right now is the Xeno Hunter knife. If you rock the Xeno Hunter knife, you're subscribed to Nick Nick. If you rock the Xeno Hunter knife, you have always a clean pair of white shoes in your closet. If you rock the Xeno Hunter knife, like the all white Dunks or like all white AF1s or all white Reebok Classics. Sylvester Stallone head ass if you rock this knife. Yeah, this is going in Hole. Honestly, I don't know why I put this so high. It's gonna go lower than that. Yeah, League of Legends, you're cool, but you're not that cool. Continuing, fucking banger of a knife is the Velocity Karambit. If you rock the Velocity Karambit, you're an E-sex haver. Not a sex haver, an E-sex haver. There's a big difference. If you rock this knife, you're the desired height that you would want to be regardless of who you are. Yeah, this knife's fucking hole for me. It's like a Talon knife almost, I would say. This is genuinely one of the worst knives I've ever seen. The Venturi knife. If you rock this knife, you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. You genuinely think that the Dallas Cowboys were going to go far in the playoffs this year. if you rock this knife. If you rock this knife, your favorite band is U2. What a fucking shit knife is what I wouldn't say about the last 3 knives on our list. We got the Waveform, we got the Winter Wonderland Candy Cane, and we got the Yoru Stylish Butterfly Comb. Now, the Waveform is special. It has one of the coolest swiping animations in the game. If you rock this knife, you Q ranked with Zed. If you rock this knife, you've been to Izu back when Izu was fucking fire. I'm putting it in the Hole tier. I'll put it at the bottom of Hole. Moving onwards, we have the Winter Wonderland Candy Cane. It reminds me of the Black Market Butterfly Knife, but in a different way. I had a friend who had this knife and he would just stab the wall a million times until it had the sharp point candy cane. And I think that's even rarer than getting the fade or sapphire pattern on the Black Market Butterfly Knife. This one, it's pretty cool. It's good. It's genuinely a good skin. Yeah, we'll go like right there. And last but not least, the Yoru Comb. When I stream Valorant, all I play now is Yoru because of you guys. You guys in my Discord, which link down below if you want to join. If you enjoyed this video, please join the Discord. The Discord decided that I was going to play Yoru the entire next act. If you rock this comb, you're a Yoru main. And if you don't, you sleep in the same bed as your parents. I'm going to put it towards the top of fire. It's going to go like right here next to this Celestial fan. And with that placement, we have our final list. Feel free to pause and look through all of these. If you're rocking anything mid and below, please consider changing your knife skin. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Thank you.